Hi guys. I recently visited a nice castle and I just wanted to upload a video about it. So what you're looking now, it's a view of the valley and the mountain surrounding the castle. That's the lower entrance, and we're now walking towards the main entrance. Now, this video is about 15 minutes long, uh, and I will be reading from the pamphlet. The history of the castle for you guys, so you know a little bit of the history of that. And I have to apologize because unfortunately the main exposition wasn't open. The reason it wasn't open is because they're preparing it for an exposition which will take place next month of medieval suit of armor. That was a pity, but the ticket for the entrance was reduced, so that's good for me. Anyway, that's just past the first main entrance. And as you can see, now you can see the outer wall and the bastion. And we're now going to enter the internal courtyard. And this was used for jousts and fighting, like knights fighting jousts. And this is very interesting little space because it's now used for historical jousts. So people dressed as medieval knights, they do a little show for the public, and it happens once a year in August. So here's the courtyard. The grass is cut really nicely. You can see the mountains around it. Here we are in a region of Italy, which is called Trentino, and it's at the border with Austria. Now, this is interesting because being a border region, it hosts a variety of castles. This one is one of the biggest. Actually, it is the biggest in my region. As you can see, it's situated on the top of a hill and it controls an entire valley. And you can see the little village called Besenello, down there. And while impressive, there's another better conserved castle in Trentino, which is called Castello del Buon Consiglio, and that one is actually situated in the main city of the region, which is called Trento. Um, I'm going to start reading the history of the castle. So the pamphlet says the castle, which is the largest fortified complex in Trentino, which is the region I was talking about, extend over the summit of the hill of Beseno. By the way, this is one of those places where the archers could actually shoot arrows on the incoming attackers. So, occupying a position of great strategic importance for the control of the Val Lagarina, which is the valley we are in, and the communication routes linking the German Empire with the Italian peninsula. Now, this is interesting because, as I said, this region of Italy is at the border between Italy and Austria. However, in the old time, the Austrian people were occupying this old region of Italy, plus Lake Garda, and spreading in Veneto as well. So until the end of the First World War, this region was militarily occupied by the Austrian Empire, which means that a lot of people still nowadays in my region can speak German. I can to a lesser extent as well, and a lot of this monument and the story of this castle is also bound to this Austrian occupation. So I will continue the reading. The fortress is medieval in its origins, but underwent a fundamental reconstruction in the first half of the 16th century. This gave its present appearance, characterized by the presence of three powerful bastions used for the deployment of firearms, which means that to the original medieval castle, which was constructed to withstand sieges with men armed with swords and pickaxe and spears and catapults. Um, then it was furtherly modified with bastions which are rounded and they can withstand the fire from cannons. And also this castle has two outer walls, so actually has an inner wall and an outer wall, which means if the attackers were able to penetrate the first line of walls, then they could be stopped and sandwiched between in the external courtyard and better fought uh, by the defender of the castle itself. And we are walking now in what used to be the space between the inner and the outer wall, as you can see. And the castle, it's in remarkable good condition. However, some of the roofs of the palaces uh, fell down, and this is because of the Italian legislation at the time, at the beginning of the last century. They decided to put taxes on only buildings which were covered by a roof, which means that for historical places like this one, being they were very big and expensive, the owners decided that if the roof was falling down, they weren't going to repair it, because in doing so they were just sparing on taxes, which in the long run meant that a lot of historical monuments were damaged because nobody wanted to repair them. Anyway, this is another internal courtyard. I think it's called the second courtyard. And as you can see, there's another bastion. It's ruined, and it gives a clear view of the whole valley behind the castle. Now we'll read the third paragraph in the pamphlet. Ah, before that, this is the cantina, so is the cellar. This one I'm filming right now. I believe it's a water tank, and then there is another cellar space, which was all of the internal space I could film, because, as I said, during the time I was filming this movie, there were workers preparing for this exposition, so everything was closed and everything was being prepared for the exposition. Right, so it says in the pamphlet, the castle, which had previously been a fief of the Beseno and the Castelbranco families, was the property of the Trapp family from the 1470 to the 1973, when it was donated to the province of Trento. Interesting, the Trapp family is very, very powerful family in Trentino. I don't think it is now, but it used to be. And they owned a series of castles. By the way, you could see the workers there, unfortunately. Um, which and there's many, and some of them are really beautiful. And if I get a chance, I will be filming them. And in Castel Trapp, it has a full exposition of medieval armor. It's really impressive. And if I can get there, I will film this. So nowadays, the castle is the setting for various events and important historical reenactments. One of them, as I said, is this show organized by lovers, amateurs who like to dress up as knights and make these historical reenactments. And that happens in August. And I wanted to film this year, this event, but unfortunately, I won't be in Italy, so that's too sad. However, if you want to look it by yourself, it's called Allarmi Al-Armi. It's written A-L-L apostrophe A-R-M-I. Repeat it twice. And what it means is it's basically take up your weapons, something like that, translated from Italian. It's a very interesting event, and it spans over, if I remember correctly, 2 or 3 days. They offer food and they stage a little sort of like a little battle uh, for yes, just for the people watching, for the audience. And if I'm not mistaken, I've seen a couple of clips of that on YouTube. So the other thing about this castle is that now it's administered by the province of Trento. So there's a some of the buildings are actually occupied by porters, and they loan they keep the grass down. They put some flower decorations all over the place. They keep the place clean, basically, and they keep it safe. The entrance fee, it's about €5, I think, for like a normal adult. It cost me only €3 this time. Reason being that not all the castle is accessible, unfortunately, because of the exposition. Uh, Here we are still following the inside. This is these are arches which lead to a second internal courtyard, and this is the very core of the castle. This is where the nobility and the Trapp family would be uh, living, and there is an observatory tower there, as you can see. Now we will be slowly making our way out, and again this is a ramp that leads into space between the outer and the inner wall, and now we are walking towards the main entrance again. And as you can see, the castle is big enough that cars can easily get through it and park inside, which in a way gives you the scale of the building, I guess. So we're walking through another door, which was originally closed by a big wooden door. This arch was originally closed by a big wooden door, but it has been removed. And some of these buildings are still habitable, um, and they normally, in normal time, host various exposition. One of them is an exposition of photographs about how they repair the castle in modern times for the visitor to be able to visit it. Uh, and normally there are frescoes, so paintings. In some of the buildings, the paintings are really stunning. Not as good as the one in Castello del Buon Consiglio, which is in Trento, but they're good enough. They're nice. They're quite impressive. And as you can see, this is another bastion where people with a rifle and cannons could position themselves to defend the castle. And we are going through that door to an inner space. This we're looking through. It's a small locale, a small room which served for the guards at the very entrance of the castle. And here we are going outside again towards the big empty space, the big courtyard for jousts. There you go, slowly turning. And now it should be visible, if I remember correctly. A little bit. There you go. This water coming down is actually the gardener. The gardener was watering the grass when I came there, and this is another view of another of the bastion, internal bastion, and that's pretty much it. So we are going back outside of the castle and going back home. I hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching, and subscribe if you want to see more.